What's up everybody, and welcome back to another YouTube video, and this is going to be a little different. I am going to be reading some stories from a subreddit called r/funny stories. Let's dive in. This one's titled, "The Time I Farted Out My Entire Class." Normally, I'm posting past stories about my evil mother and formerly entitled sister, but after doing that for so long, it's starting to burn me out. So I thought I'd tell a funny story from my past for a change. But when I was a teenager, some foods gave me really bad gas, especially spicy foods. I love spicy foods. It also didn't help that I really liked certain spicy foods. Alright, here we go. Well, this was back when I was 17 and driving my first car to school. I think it was a Monday, because I remember it was being the first day of school for the week. The night before, I dined on some pizza covered with hot peppers, and I had eggs for breakfast. Oh, no, that's not a good combo. That's not a good combo. Didn't help, I also liked energy drinks back then too. Okay. I guess all that combined in my gut and made a walking bomb waiting to go off. This was made 7 months ago. Anyway, I was in one of the afternoon periods. Either the last or second to last period of the day. I think it was English class. The teacher there was a cranky old coot in his 60s who wasn't fond of me. Though he didn't do anything like single me out or mark my scores lower, he just didn't like me. Fair enough, because I don't like him either. Nobody actually seemed to like him, though. As a teacher, he was good at his job, but pretty gruff. A lot of us joked that he was waiting to retire. Well, we were in the middle of silent reading, and the class was dead quiet. So I suddenly farted. It was pretty loud, and may as well have echoed since before it was quiet enough to hear a pen drop. Right after I ripped it, everyone in the room turned to look at me at once. The students closest to me started gagging, and getting up from their desks. And then the smell worked its way to the teacher. He started coughing and saying his eyes were watering before running over to the windows and opened them. I was really embarrassed, and the teacher just pointed without even looking at me, because his head was out the window, and said, "Go." I asked for a hall pass since one was required, and he had to go back to his desk and get one for me while holding his breath, because he was so paranoid that he kept them locked in a drawer. And it didn't help that right as I got up, I ripped another one. Oh no. And I can remember someone near me said, "Oh, come on." The teacher threw me the hall pass and told me to not come back until my butt was empty before running back to the window. Oh, that's a way to make an interesting time out of high school. Making friends right there. As I was like, "Hey, yeah, were you the guy that ripped a huge fart in the middle of reading time?" I almost laughed my butt off before almost throwing up. Anyway, back to the story. As I headed to the bathroom, I let a couple more rancid farts in the hall, and one of them I ripped while walking by a class with the door open. Still don't know what their reaction was, but I hope they closed that door fast. I went to the bathroom and stank it up. Oh, a couple guys walked in to take a leak while I was in the stall and left as soon as they could because of the smell. By the time I came back the class was nearly over. I got a lot of dirty looks, but after class, a lot of other students came to me and said it was the funniest thing they've ever seen. After I left, the teacher refused to come away from the window until the smell in the room died down. Alright, that was the end of the story. Give a couple claps for you, Craigle Tom 7. Nope, just you, Craigle Tom, okay? This next story is called My Daughter Has a Crazy Sense of Humor by Utterly Bored. This one's from 2 years ago. She was maybe 9 years old, planning her birthday party. She wanted a bouncer at her party, so I asked a 6'6" friend of mine if he'd serve in this role. He got a black t-shirt with security written on it and a clipboard with mirrored shades. As the minivans came up the driveway, he would stop them, inform them this was a private event by invitation only. They would say they were invited and provide their name. He would scan his clipboard and say, "Oh yes, I have your name here," and let the families in. Everyone thought it was weird, but my daughter and I thought it was hilarious. This is imagine you pull up to someone's birthday, you've been invited, and it's just like, sorry, this is a private event. It's like, yeah, well, I was invited, my name is so-and-so. It's like he just scans the clipboard for a couple seconds. Ah, yes. You, in fact, have been invited. Come on in. Our next story is from UTHC16, and it is labeled, "In 2013, I sent my ex a cactus, then today." Years ago, my ex cheated on me, and it sucked. He didn't even come clean about it immediately, so I'll give credit where credit is due, but I ended things. After breaking it off, I wanted a clean cut. I blocked his number and all connected social media platforms. It worked really well for a few days until he applied to the cafe that I worked in, intending to stay in contact with me without my knowledge, and got hired. That was a bit of a shock and quite a disappointment. I loved my job, but suddenly hated having to be there every day. It was rough, very emotional for me. I felt as though I couldn't properly heal, and I knew I had to quit and find a new job. The situation was already bad, but having to quit a job that I genuinely loved made it worse. I was livid. I wanted revenge. Now, I'm not particularly the vindictive person, but I wanted to release some of my anger. I didn't want to do anything that would hurt him, anything illegal, or anything that would permanently damage his stuff. I wanted him to know exactly how I felt. I ended up buying a cactus, just a little round one. I also made a small mosaic vase. Afterwards, I wrote a very detailed 2-page letter. It was very raw, and it was very blunt. It was basically just a mess of emotional vomit. At the end, I drew a 6-panel instruction manual explaining how to properly insert the cactus into his bino. It was immature and petty as hell. Not my best moment, but it did the trick. And I was able to put some real effort into it, and it got some of those pent-up feelings out. Shortly after, I quit the job, which has stopped all contact. Now, I hadn't even thought about him in ages, years, literal years, until today. This morning, I received a Snapchat message from someone that I didn't recognize. I opened it. It was a photo of the cactus in the mosaic vase, huge pink flower on top. In the caption, it's in bloom. I lost it. I haven't laughed that hard in a hot minute. I hope this story makes you laugh too. Edit. Spelling. Alright. Pretty, it's in blue. What? How long does cactuses last? I almost spelt lives. No, I just wanted to know. Okay. I'm not getting my quick answer. I just life cycle. 5 stages. I don't want to know the 5 stages. I want to know how long can they live. Okay, well, I mean, I think they can live for years, okay? Surprised it's not Florida by You Blamin' Pig 456. In Memphis, what began as an invitation to a Thanksgiving meal ended in a bizarre death. Anana Mary Hare, 47, is behind the bars after authorities say she killed a dinner guest who had the poor manners to smoke crack at the Thanksgiving table and not offer her any. Oh, poor you. I was laughing at the smoke crack. It's like, I mean, there's a picture too. There's no comments? Oh, this was posted 3 years ago. Huh. If you guys enjoyed this and want to hear more stories, maybe me look through the subreddit more, or maybe even read stories from other subreddits like r/revenge stuff or entitled parents, I'd love to do that. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want me to do other subreddits, comment, like. If you like, I can know that you enjoyed this. But I hope you guys just enjoyed this seriously. And I'll see you all in the next video. And good bye.